Hi, it's me again with CorelDraw tips and tricks. Somebody sent me this PDF, and for the one I'm doing it for, I've asked him before to send it to me in a Corel file, and he stated in this email that he can't do that. Well, if you're using Corel, all you have to do is go up to File, Save As, and it's going to save it as a Corel file, and then just name it whatever you want. It makes it a little easier for me, even though it's a PDF. I can grab it a lot quicker instead of having to go save it and open it and import it. But that's beside the point on this video. He wants to put a cut line around it, and evidently the white is supposed to be there. So I put a red hairline around this, and he can determine what size. This thing is over 12 inches or 12 inches long. I normally would change that, but I'm not going to in this case. I'm going to make a duplicate and move it over. I always want to keep my original. I'm going to go, this is much like every video I've ever made on this, but it's a little bit different. Trace bitmap, outline, trace clip art. Does it pretty fast. And then we're going to move that over. And you can see it has removed the white background. Okay. Now we can add that white inner background back in a minute. What I want to do now, I'm going to extend my yellow box, and I'm using a yellow box so we can see it. I'm going to make a duplicate of that and nudge it over. Well, I didn't make a duplicate of it. And I'm going to take this one and I'm going to left click, right click. I want just the lines because at first I thought, well, there's a mess up, but it's a blend. It's if you did the boundary tool on this case, and if you did color, it's going to contour the color. So we're going to go to Effects and Contour. We're going to contour the outside 0.25 of an inch. Now, if that is the amount you want of contour, we're set. But evidently it might not be. So we're going to go to Object and break the contour apart. Now here's a pretty good little trick. If we want to contour that back in 1/4 of an inch inwardly, Corel's going to tell me that the contour is too large. Now, if we want it back exactly, I'm going to contour it 0.1 to the inside. I'm going to go to Object and break it apart. I'm going to grab the inside and do it again. I'm going to go to Object and break it apart. And then to get that 0.25, I'm going to put 0.05. And there we have it. Now I'm going to go and break the contour apart. We should be able to grab the interior one. It should be red, so it's a hairline. And then to get that white that's inside this logo besides the boundary box back, I'm going to take my copy and nudge it down a little bit, or at least leave it right there. But this way we can leave the other part. So I'm going to take this and make it blue. Doesn't really matter. I'm going to take away the outline. I'm going to nudge it up, and then I'm going to select both these, and I'm going to go to the intersect tool. What the intersect did, it intersected all that outwardly color, left it white. Now we can left click, right click, making sure it's a hairline for a cut line. Now we're right on the money. There's a couple places that we could maybe fix. So you might want a bigger contour. You might want to use the next step up. Turn it red, make sure it's a hairline. You might want to leave a little bit of whiter, a little bit more decal around it. And if you were going to do that, and you want all that white, I would suggest you take that new contour. I like just turning it a color because I think the intersect tool works better. Make sure you select both of them, go to intersect, and there you have it. Now this, we're going to left click, right click, move it down and over. And now we have a little bit bigger contour around it. And we still have that white of the logo around it. I think this is going to be your best choice because you want that white to kind of stand off unless you want to take all the white out, but I'm pretty sure he like printing a sticker. That's pretty cool. Just remember, and one thing I didn't state when you're contouring, because you have mostly rounded corners, make sure you're contouring in round corners. Because if you don't contour in round corners, you'll get square corners. Let's just see if we can do one. Let's contour this. We got mostly square corners, but let's go, or round corners, but let's do this. Well, it's not going to work except for on the first one. So just make sure when you contour and you've got some rounded corners, make sure you pick rounded corners. Anyway, I hope that helped him a little bit. Thank you for watching.